Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, I'm so cute today. Oh my goodness, I just got a view of myself. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. So excited to join you again. Excited that we're shifting things up and doing this on a Wednesday since we had a holiday on Monday. We still like to show up and support you. And so this is a series that we've been doing, oh my goodness, like 2 years now, where we go live at least once a week to kind of share some insights, relay some things that we're seeing or experiencing or that our clients are experiencing in the hopes that we can help other part-time coaches and consultants as they're looking to scale their businesses so they can bid fond farewell to corporate America. And that's something I'm really passionate about. I did a few years ago myself, and I definitely want to support more people in making that transition because I know that it's possible. I've gotten my freedom and my flexibility. I get an opportunity to work with really awesome clients and get to do really great work and have a really great team that supports me. So I'm just so grateful for that. There's a lot of ground we want to cover today, so I won't labor that. So I do want to say again, thank you. I do want to flag for you that we have reopened the doors to the Exit Strategy Academy. That is our flagship group coaching program, and we support part-time coaches and consultants and getting 20 new clients in 12 months or less so that you have the option of leaving corporate. So if you have a handful of amazing clients right now, but they aren't necessarily, you're not bringing in clients consistently enough where you feel that you can maintain or you can exceed your corporate salary, or you're feeling a little uncomfortable with sales or marketing, or you're not exactly sure where to take things and what order you should do one-on-one coaching versus group coaching versus online courses and speaking and all that sort of stuff, definitely reach out to our team. We put together this year-long program where we mentor and support you. There's 2 live coaching calls a week. We have a quadruple layered of accountability to keep you on task. So we have our own tracking systems. You have an assigned accountability coach. You have one-on-one support, limited one-on-one support on via Loom or a Zoom call, and we have a private onboarding to make sure that you have everything you need to get the results. Now, again, this program we have some really special bonuses, so you'll have early access to my first ebook, which is how to create your first platinum high ticket offer, as well as we're doing a boot camp around developing your offer. Generally speaking, when I see um, that revenue isn't where you want it to be, it usually is a couple of things. It may be not consistently doing that outreach, so lead generation and outreach, but also you may not have an offer that's positioned correctly so that when you get clients, you are charging them at a rate that makes sense, that they get the results that they're looking for. So we're going to talk a little more about that, but that's all things that we cover one-on-one with you in the Exit Strategy Academy. So reach out if you want more information on that program to see if you're a good fit. We do not take everyone. So we try to keep the cohort small so that you can get that individualized coaching, that you can get those unlimited one-on-one calls, and that you can get eyes and visibility on each piece of the puzzle as you scale your business. So reach out. You can book a call at successfully.com/call. But now back to what I want to talk about is the platinum effect. So before I get into that, I do want to say a special thank you to my friends and family. I had a phenomenal friends that are family. I had a phenomenal Labor Day weekend. I went out to LA and had a girls trip. But one of the big things that really stuck out from that girls trip, and I want to encourage you around this concept of vision, right? We did an exercise with one another, and we've never done this as friends, right? So this is the uncharted territory. It was either going to go really well or really bad. We actually sat down and did this visioning exercise where we took time to journal what we want our lives to look like in the coming months and next couple years, right? And not just a list of bullet points of things that we want to accomplish, but what does life look like? What does it feel like? What are we experiencing? Who is around us? Who are we sharing it with? What are we smelling? What are we seeing? What are we touching? What is the visual? What symbolizes that success, right? And then we stretch our imagination a little further. So like we stretch the imagination on what it looks like, what it feels like, and we put no limitations on it. But then we went a little further with the exercise and says, now how do we support each other to get there? What does that support look like? How do we show up for one another, knowing that's the direction we want to go? And so I want to encourage you to sit down, journal with your nearest and dearest, stretch that imagination, and ask yourself those questions. Where do you want to be, and what do you feel like you need to get there? Right. So that was a very powerful, a powerful moment, and I feel like our friendship is stronger than it's ever been. And I know how to show up, how to be supportive, what are the best questions to ask. And so that was just, an amazing part of my trip this last weekend. But also, like, I'm finding that now that I put it out there, and it's been in our we talked about it in our newsletter this week. If you don't get to take 5 Tuesdays, raise your hand, we'll get you on the list. But like some of my other friends are like, oh, I want to do that exercise with you too. And so it's definitely been a powerful experience, and I'm looking forward to celebrating each one of them as we kind of come into our own in the next few months. So this exercise and what I want to kind of chat through about the platinum effect is another opportunity to stretch your imagination. So what I love about our brains is that once you stretch it and you stretch that thought process and you stretch your imagination, it doesn't shrink back down. Right? We fill up more space, and we fill it up with those good things when we stretch our imagination, we stretch our thoughts, and we take the limitations off. And so what I want you to consider is that building a coaching or consulting business is easy. It's easy. It's easy. I think it's our stuff, junk, and things that gets in the way. So it may be some of our hangups, our money trauma, our interrelational traumas, and some of the baggage we may be carrying, or um that negative soundtrack about who you're going to be and what you're going to accomplish, or whatever we have all these carry-ons, trunks, and suitcases that we bring into our business that have very little to do with business, right? And so the easy part of business is having an ideal client, having that irresistible offer, and figuring out a way to get in front of those potential clients with some level of consistency, right? And so I want to kind of focus in on the offer part of things, because like I said earlier on, that there's usually two things that I've observed in my time of coaching, that slow down things. And that's usually not showing up consistently, so not connecting with that ideal client enough for those potential clients to see results, but also having an offer that's not well positioned, right? So like you may be getting in front of people, but if you have an offer that's a few $100s, or you have what I like to call one of those kitchen sink offers, where you throw a bunch of stuff at it and hope it works, but it's not really clear on what the value and the outcomes are. Those are the kinds of things that can really impact your ability to scale. And so the way that I like to approach this, or the way that I like to encourage my clients to approach this piece, is again, stretch that imagination. And so the first thing when I'm thinking about what I have to offer my clients or future clients, we're going to call them clients. We're going to take the caps off. So when I think about what I have to offer them, I think that oftentimes we may be trying to address too many things. We may be trying to address a whole bunch of stuff that we may not necessarily be good at, that may not necessarily move the needle for them, that sounds really good on paper, but doesn't really get to the heart of the matter. And so when you're thinking about what you have to offer that very niche down, very specific client, I really want to challenge you to think about what's that one problem what's that one problem that you can solve? What's that one problem? Because I think like we get so caught up in all the many moving parts the reality is they're going to be byproduct solutions, right? So that like once you get them in motion to solve that big primary problem that keeps them up, and not to sound cliche, that is really that might be embarrassing for them, publicly embarrassing for them, that might be um something that they've worked really hard on but can't seem to move the needle around. When you solve that primary problem, byproduct problems get their byproduct solutions as well. So like you may be helping them get new clients, but also you're solving for that confidence issue. You may be helping them make more money, but you're also helping them with clarity, or you're helping relieve stress, and that's a byproduct of you solving that primary problem. Or so like I really want to challenge you to think about what is that problem or that challenge or that roadblock. What's one roadblock, one challenge, one I don't even like using the word problem. What's that one thing you know you can help your client do better than anybody else? What's that one thing? Because all the other stuff will come along, right? Just like the commitment and consistency to show up and achieve one goal bleeds into every other area of your life. So if there's one challenge, one roadblock, one thing that you're really helping them do really well, what's that one thing, right? Because I think we solve for all these other things along the way. And so, what's that one thing you can really challenge them on? What is that one thing that you can support them through? Right? So, kind of pick that one thing. What is that big thing that if you solved it for them, it would change their lives? Right? And so, then here's where the imagination piece comes. Here's the imagination thing. So, oftentimes when we think of precious metals, right? We think of, platinum, gold, silver, maybe bronze. I would like to challenge you to think about the idea of rhodium, because rhodium is actually more valuable than platinum. It's about $14,000 an ounce. So when you're thinking about how you're going to solve that one challenge for your client, or that you're going to give them relief from that one thing, I want you to think in terms of rhodium first, right? So rhodium is kind of looking at, if you use all your imagination and money was no object, how would you solve that problem? What would that money's no object? You got all the time in the world. You have all the resources at your fingertips. How would you solve that problem? Go big. Stretch your imagination. To me, a rhodium offer for me, we're getting on private jets and we're meeting in Costa Rica to do our strategy sessions. And you're going to talk to me every day. And we're going to have monthly in-person meetings at fabulous places. And then we're throwing you a party when you achieve your goals. That's a lot of money. Right? So think it like, what is the biggest, boldest way you can solve the problem? What would that look like? If money was no object, what would that look like? Right? Um, and I, and then start thinking about looking at that. Let's bring it down to what you can actually do. Right? Go big, go bold, take it out, blow the top off of it, stretch your imagination on how you can serve that client. What would that look like? If the money was no object, how would you work with that individual? And then I want you to bring it down to like, if it was just you and no other outside vendors, no other outside influences, and it was just you, how would you deliver for that client? How would you get them results? If you didn't have to charter private jets and you didn't have big parties and you didn't have daily meetings, what would that look like if it was just you? Right? What would that look like? So first, identify the big problem, stretch your imagination on how you would solve it. What is the the biggest, boldest way you can do that? What's the fanciest way you could do it? And then bring it down to like what you can actually do that's not cost prohibitive, that doesn't require a lot of outside resources, that you can execute on yourself. I think oftentimes we start in the reverse and we start with the little things. And then we try to add some bells and whistles to the little things, right? So I want you to flip it around and start with the big things and bring it down, because I think that stretches your imagination, but it also opens up the opportunity to be a little bit more creative. Whereas if you're just thinking about what I can do for a certain at a certain price point, I think we leave a lot on the table, right? We just think it becomes very transactional as opposed to being a big vision sort of thing, right? And I found that when we revisit our fundamentals quite often. When I think about what it is my clients want, they want more clients. Yes, they want to leave their jobs, or on my one-on-one roster, they want to scale to seven-figure businesses and beyond. The reality is, to do that, you need more clients, right? Or you need to up level, so you're attracting a different type of client. But it all comes back to no clients, no money, right? So they have the same issue, just on different scales, right? And so what's the most fabulous way I can solve that problem? And then what's the accessible, simple way I can do it? Is I want to challenge you to stretch your thinking. Stretch your thinking instead of starting from the smallest thing and working your way up. I want you to think about it from the big and then bring it down a little bit. So like if you've gone shopping for a luxury vehicle, and you walk in the showroom, you may know exactly what you want. The salesperson is going to walk you around to the highest end model they carry. You are going to pass that G Wagon. You're going to pass that Maybach. You're going to pass that. You're going to pass the most expensive thing in the showroom. They're going to show it to you whether that's what you want or not. And so the same thing when you're thinking about your offer, think about what's the most expensive thing in the showroom. What does that panoramic sunroof, moonroof cost? See, if stretch your thinking around it, stretch your thinking around it. And if you find yourself stuck here, or if you're finding yourself um you don't really have a niche, or you're not sure how to get new leads, you don't have a sales process in place, or you're not exactly sure how you will get your clients from point A to point B, I never want to leave this live stream without extending an invitation. And I want to extend an invitation to you to book a strategy session, right? At 30 minutes, super painless, complimentary. Book a strategy session, and I'm happy to chat with you about those things. Getting your clients from point A to point B. How do you position that offer? If you're finding that what you're putting out isn't really resonating, maybe your client isn't niche enough. Maybe there's some really small tweaks that we can make to get you back into rhythm, or get you some sort of rhythm and some successes rather quickly. And so don't sit in it by yourself. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. We're here to support you, and we really want to make sure that we are available to help you through this process, because we've been there, we've done that. We've been there, we've done it. We've experienced the highs, the lows, and all points in between. And more importantly, I personally think that there's a level of passion that comes along with this, right? That I'm very passionate um, about making sure you get to where you're going. Like, it's really interesting that I feel I'm one of those folks where I actually get goosebumps from seeing other people successful. Like it's like an adrenaline rush for me. So I am very passionate about that, and I would love for you to work with us, obviously. But I really want to see you successful. And so before I let you go, I want to remind you all that with this exercise and even the journaling exercise I talked about earlier, and even this creating that platinum effect in your business, repositioning that offer, I want you to take the limitations off. Take the limitations off. Give yourself permission to dream. Give yourself permission to flex that imagination to see what is possible for you and for your clients, right? Just take the limitations off. Take the limitations off, stretch that imagination. And like I said, we're here, we're available to support you every step of the way. So book a strategy call at successfully.com. And remember, we have reopened the doors to the Exit Strategy Academy, which is our flagship group coaching program. And if you want more information on that, just raise your hand, say hello in the comments, and we are looking forward to seeing all that you'll accomplish in the next few months. So once again, I'm Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Successfully. Let's get after it.